we call them our 4 Ps. This is what I want you to start remembering as you engage in this. And then you're going to practice this as we go on, step by step, when I unlock these 3 different categories for you. So the first one, we identify the problem. First step is identify the problem. So this is where I said we use cognitive behavioral therapy and positive psychology. But one of the things that happens is that most of us don't fully recognize the battle that we're in on a daily basis. This beautiful, amazing thing right here between your ears and your skull, literally, I would say arguably one of the most impressive things in the whole universe. And I don't say that lightly, I literally mean universe, is amazing at what it does. But what it does is keep you alive. That's all it cares about. Your brain has one operative: keep you alive. And the fact that each and every one of us is sitting here in front of this computer demonstrates that not only our brains, but our ancestors' brains over millions of years have done an incredible job. Now, that's awesome. But guess what your brain does not care about? Doesn't care about you growing, doesn't care about you being happy. And those are the 2 things that most of us are trying to do. We're trying to grow and we're trying to be happy. So literally every single day, and we're going to unpack this more in the brain module that we're going to have later, is your brain and you are in a battle all day, every day. And your brain's throwing 60,000 arrows at you all day, every day. And we wonder why we can't do the things that we want to do. We wonder why it's so hard to get out of our chair to do 5 minutes of exercise in between meetings. We wonder why it's so hard to be calm and cool and collected to our kids when they're just wanting to play with us, but they're all of a sudden annoying the shit out of us, right? We're wondering why we won't have this conversation with our partner or loved ones that we know we need to have, and it's so important, but there's so much resistance against it because your brain needs to keep you alive. And to keep you alive, it's got to keep you safe. And to keep you safe, it's got to keep you comfortable. And guess what doesn't exist in your comfort zone? Growth. There is 0 growth in your comfort zone. So you will stay there all day, every day. So we got to identify the problem, because most of us think the issues that we're having is with someone else about, oh, they didn't put their toys away, or that person didn't send the email when they're sent to. In actuality, it has nothing to do with that. It has to do with something inside of you that's way deep down. So we got to identify that problem first. The second P in our PSYFI system, we got to activate your physiology. Number 3, change your psychology. So because of us going through this activating change with our physiology, remember I taught this before, when you work out, testosterone rises, so cortisol has to decrease. We're actually going through a neurochemical change inside of us from the inside out. We're firing all these different neuromodulators like oxytocin, which helps us connect with people, serotonin, our contentment neuromodulator, dopamine, the thing that's novel, makes us want to keep checking our cell phones all the time, noradrenaline that heightens our energy, and endorphins that basically our body's naturally painkiller and make us feel euphoric. Your psychology is fundamentally changed literally from the inside out, because all these neuromodulators are firing in your brain, and your perspective has just become something different. And that's why number 4, the 4th P, is enhance your perspective. Because of the change we just brought your brain and your body through, your perspective has changed. It's broadened. You don't have tunnel vision anymore. You see things differently. Your subconscious has been changed. You're basically in this, I call it a doped up state. You've just literally introduced drugs into your system, because this is what all those neuromodulators that I talked about, drugs interact on all of that. That's why drugs are effective. You can dope yourself up. You can create this flow state at any point in time. That's some Jedi stuff. Imagine being able to change your mind just like that, increase your focus just like that, your energy just like that. I'm talking about minutes. And so that's what we're going to do. What I want you to do first is I want you to identify the problems. We're going to go through our 4P process. So what do I want you to think about? Think about the one thing, the biggest frustration or challenge you have in your life right now. Something that's taking up space. All right, so let's do this, guys. In 3, 2, 1, let's go up. Come back on your chairs. Now we're going to start breathing. If you're like me, you're out of breath a little bit. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Close your eyes. Put one hand on your chest, one hand on your belly, and try to breathe into the hand on your belly. In through the nose, out through the mouth. In through the nose, out through the mouth. And I just want you to pay attention to what your brain starts saying to you. I need more air. Open your mouth. But I'm trying to teach you to understand how you have control over your brain, your body, and your breath at any point in time. I want you to bring back that frustration or challenge you had from earlier. I just want you to just notice if anything's changed. Do you see something different that you didn't see before? All right. Does anyone else feel a little bit different? Yeah. That was 5 minutes, guys. Not even, actually. Imagine what we can do in 75. When you're in these anxiety-inducing states, our focus is typically on something negative, right? We're focusing on whatever the lack of something is, or we're worried. Anxiety is always based in the future. So anxiety is never about where you currently are or something that happened before. You know, it's always future oriented. So the goal is to try to get your focus off of that and shift it to something in the present. So what I say is, like, instead of focusing on what's bad or what you can't control, which is the future, we have no control over that. Focus on what you can control. One actionable step you can do right now. You're worried about all the stuff you have no control over that's future oriented. Bring it back and what can I do right now about it? And then use the same energy that you would be flexing for that. Bring it back to something you can control right now and then. Bookending. We bookend our days. We can, no matter how crazy your day is, no matter how crazy your life is, no matter what job you have, who you work for, you can control the first hour and the last hour of your day, 100%. There's not a person I've met, literally not a single person I've met. I've worked with people from all different aspects of life that don't have control over that. The things you want to be doing is, like, particularly when you get up in the morning, do not look at this for at least an hour. I don't care why you think you need to. I'm simply here to tell you, you do not need to. Before you go to bed, no. 1 hour before you go to bed, absolutely not. Do not use this 1 hour before you go to bed. Do not use any screens. Do not engage in anything. Do not get in deep conversations with people. Like, my brain typically doesn't shut off at night. That's one of the reasons I don't have trouble staying asleep. I have trouble getting to sleep. And so my brain is just running. But if I have a 2 hour shut off, like I do nothing for 2 hours before I go to bed. If you take away all the stimulus that you're going into, like I said, your brain's in that fight or flight mechanism for 3/4 of your day. You got to give your brain time to get off of that. 7 benefits, the top benefits that our clients have given to us over the years. The ability to make decisions without doubting ourselves. Self-confidence to break bad habits and start good ones. Focus on learning and how to prioritize so they can make more progress in less time. Motivation and courage, perseverance and resilience, acceptance and letting go, and then overcoming fear, worry, and anxiety. The problem is that high performers, we want it all, we want it now. And like I talked about before, seeing 5 different experts is very difficult. Like, time consuming, it's resource consuming, it's a lot of money. So that's why I've combined all this stuff, and we're gonna give you all these simple science-backed solutions so you can reprogram all 3 in less time than you think it's possible.